Hull Western Christian has helped itself to the 2A championship, the 3A title game coming up. The win for Hull Western Christian comes on the wings of Jerry Boers, 25. Tim Kleiner, Kleinwaldering scored 21. Derek Altena had a total of 8, plus his general floor leadership, and Altena and Kleinwaldering were named to the all-tournament team. 23 for Ty Dennis in a losing cause for the Indians of Comanche. So that leaves the final championship to be decided. Decided earlier yesterday, Lone Tree in Class A in overtime defeated Dayton 65-60. And in the 1A championship also yesterday, Nashua defeated Grundy Center 66-61. So those were pretty close championship games. Our opener here this evening, 83-57. That's a 26-point victory. Prior to that, in Consolation 3A, it was 81-57 for Dodge. That is a 26-point victory, and a rather 24-point victory, I stand corrected. Winterset won the 2A Consolation, and they took that by 15, 75-60. Sioux Center took the 1A Consolation, 65-53 by 12. And then the A Consolation at 10:30 this morning between Lone Tree, between Hedrick and Palmer. That one went to Hedrick in overtime. That consolation win, 72-64. So of the games so far played today, the 4 consolation and the 1 2A championship, only that opener was reasonably close. The others have been reasonably comfortable for the winners. What will happen here in the 3A game? Well, we're led to believe, and just looking at the way these two clubs have played to get here, that this can be the kind of a game that is going to be determined in the last couple of minutes of play. West Waterloo is a flying, skying ball club. They proved that in their win against Burlington. I think a lot of people were not surprised that they defeated Burlington. What they were surprised at was the way in which they did it. They fired 64% from the field to win 93-70 by 23 big ones. They earlier had eliminated Dubuque Wahlert 77-59. That's pretty impressive. The Knights of Carroll Kuemper, coached by Wayne Chandley in his 11th season, took care of Cedar Rapids, Washington in the opener, 75-54, a nice 21-point victory, and then came back and eliminated Fort Dodge pretty handily, 71-59. That's not that easy to do because Fort Dodge took care of Burlington pretty handily here in 3A Consolation today. So both teams have been impressive, and interestingly enough, Carroll Kuemper beat Fort Dodge shooting 71% from the field. They beat Cedar Rapids, Washington shooting 62% from the field. And in West Waterloo's victory over Burlington, the Warhawks fired 64% from the field. So these ball clubs can put the ball in the hoop. We have Carroll Kuemper ranked number 4. It's an independent. West Waterloo tied for second in the Big 8 conference. They were ranked 10. They boast 4 juniors in their starting lineup. Coach Mike Hearn can not only smile over what has transpired here and what may happen for him in the title game tonight, but imagine how he must look forward to what's going to happen in the future as all those 4 people come back next year. It's going to be a ball club, certainly, that's going to have to be contended with. We have Brian David, who is on his way to Arizona. Lute Olson, the coach there, the former Iowa coach, of course, visiting here to watch David play. David will be operating at center at 6'9". He'll be going up against 6'7" Jim Norris. Norris can get up. He's physical. David can get up. He is strong. He is physical. So that can be an interesting battle there. The rest of the front line, Chris Gaines at 6'3", a junior. Bill Deers, 6'4", a junior for Carroll Kuemper, and Roger Gailing, who has had just an outstanding tournament, far above his regular season credentials of 8.5 points and 5.5 rebounds. He has scored 17 on an average of 17 points a ball game and 7 rebounds a game in the previous 2. He has just played outstandingly. And then we come to Anthony Thomas. Thomas for West Waterloo had 12 in the Wahlert win, came back with 30 and 9 rebounds in the big Burlington victory. He is a tower of strength. He led the ball club in scoring Last year, he's their number 2 scorer. This year, so they have some tough credentials in that front line. And then when you get to the guards, Terry Woods up against Nick Nurse. Nurse is averaging 15 in the previous 2 games, 12 on the season. Terry Woods in the previous 2 games has just been outstanding. He's averaging about 22 points a ball game. During the season he averaged just 11 points a ball game. And then Larry Hodges at the other guard for West Waterloo has not scored particularly well, but he has shown great ball handling and leadership. He's a fine passer. And Carroll Kuemper's Johnny Oswald, here again, not a big scorer, but he managed to pump in 16 in that win over Fort Dodge, which showed a lot of people that when there's an opportunity to score, he can score, but normally that is not his role. So we have 2 excellent 3A teams. They can do a lot of things. We have Carroll Kuemper now, the number 1 defensive team in 3A. They're letting the opponents get by with just 47 points a ball game, a little bit more here at the tournament. And in West Waterloo, we have the number 2 offensive team averaging pretty close to 73 points a ball game. So that's interesting to ponder too. Okay, the fans are getting set, so we will be back with the starting lineups after this word from your local station. So we are just seconds away from putting this one on the road. It's going to be interesting to see who will reign as the 3A champion for 1985. Both teams now are being called to their respective benches and coaches. We're going to go courtside to a PA announcer, Bob Wilson, for the introductions of these 2 ball clubs.
This is it. Game number 32 of the 1986 Iowa Boys State Basketball Championship. And for the 3A championship on the scoreboard, listed as the visiting team from Carroll Kuemper, the Knights. And listed as the home team from Waterloo West, the Wahawks. First, the non-starters for Carroll Kuemper. Number 25 is Mark Collison. Number 35, Chris Short. Number 41, Tony Thielen. Number 31, Doug Heinrich. Number 15, Jeff Lenz. Number 11, Rick Button. Number 21, Frank Mullick. Number 13, Paul Gray. Number 45, Craig Broyles. And number 23, Mike Prenger. The assistant coach for the Carroll Kuemper Knights is Mark Bonami. For Waterloo West, number 42 is Ken Harris. Number 30 is Brian Jennings. Number 22, Darville Everett. Number 10, Greg Kemp. Number 50, Matt Flemmer. Number 34, Greg Zemlock. Number 20, David Greer. Number 32, Tom Wilkerson. Number 52, Paul Flemmer. And number 40, Reggie Mosley. The assistant coaches for the Waterloo West Wahawks, Tony Burns and Jay Golden. And now for your starting lineups. At a forward for Carroll, Kuemper, number 55, Roger Gayling. For Waterloo West, number 44 is Anthony Thomas. Number 43 is Bill Deers. Number 24 is Chris Gaines. At the centers, number 53, Brian David. Number 54, Jim Norris. At the guards, number 51, John Oswald. Number 12, Terry Woods. Number 33, Nick Nurse. And number 14, Larry Hodges. The head coach for the Knights of Carroll, Kuemper, is Wayne Chandley, and the head coach for the Wahawks of Waterloo West, Mike Kern. Our officials for the ball game, the referee is Dan Conry from Dubuque. The umpire, Art Tinker of Piasta. And the bench official, Bob Oldus from Iowa City.
So, Mark, the stage is all set on this one. Let me pay tribute to you. For the state of Iowa, you today have done something I don't know if anybody ever did before. Televised 6 basketball games live in one day. Partner, you're a pro.
Well, you know, Mitch, we did it. I don't know what kind of an accomplishment it is, but a delight being with you, with the entire television crew that's produced and put on this pageant. It's been an awful lot of fun, a lot of basketball, and it's culminated now in this 3A championship.
And what a contrast in styles. I'm sure you've set the stage with that.
And it's going to be interesting to see which team has its way. And indeed, it's going to be that discipline that's going to determine the outcome. High and fly or nice and easy.
Who dictates the tempo will decide the state champion.
We're ready to go with it. David on the right, in the red, up against Thomas. And the tip is controlled by Carroll Kuemper. Wayne Chandley in his 11th year. Oswald handling it initially, and it gives the ball off to Nick Nurse, the floor general.
Waterloo with 4 juniors on that floor.
Deers goes inside to David. Bound for Arizona, puts it up on the rim, but not in. Thomas gets the rebound, and here they come. Over to Hodges, far side to Woods. Woods has been a key in the West Waterloo play.
Kuemper weigh anchor and get back on defense.
You better get it in a hurry. This is the fire brigade. That's Gaines inside, going to Norris. The rebound goes to Davis. Brian David.
These are the big boys. They're representing the biggest schools in the state of Iowa.
And this is Nurse handling it. Man-to-man defense. Gives it to Deers. D-I-E-R-S. Inside to David. Beautiful pass to Deers, and he traveled with it. 81,000 have paid their way in, plus those here tonight, so they're going to go well over 90,000, Mitch.
I think we will, Mark. The record, of course, is 95,000 set back in 1977. But crowd-wise, this is a 12-session tournament. It'll be the biggest in several years.
Gaines handling it on the near side. He keeps looking in at Norris, finds him over the top of David. The rebound is put up by Thomas. He is fouled.
First foul of the ball game.
Not go in.
Yeah, I think it'll go. The personal foul.
We want red inside. Red inside.
Let's get a replay on
You take a look at the replay in there where the combat is. When you heard the referee, who's wired for sound, saying want red inside, he was talking about the inside rebound lanes down there.
So we take a look at Thomas, a 56%er. Gayling has his first personal foul.
I think Anthony Thomas might be the key to this ball game. If he has another big day, like he's had 2 in this tournament, look out.
Exciting ball player. He can sky, he can fly, he can do it all. 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. He has 42 points coming into the ball game in the previous 2. That was his 43rd. So it's 1-0 as West Waterloo takes the initial scoring, and Nurse moves into the front court with the right hand. Nice pass to David. He'll try it from 17 and a half. Thomas with the rebound, and he has pocket picked beautifully by Nurse. Nice fake. Did he travel? He did.
Yes, he did. The fake was great, but the fake was what got him the travel. So far, they're playing Blyman David in the corner and Gailing posting up in there. He will play the corner in college for Lute Olson, I'm sure.
This is Hodges trying to make it through the lane. Right on the money. Larry Hodges, averaging 9, gets his first 2 of this ball game. And it's 3-0, West Waterloo.
Full court pressure on by the Wahawks.
Almost stolen, and Woods fouled him. Terry Woods picks up his first personal foul. 5'9" junior, and boy, has he played tough. 17 against Waller, 24 against Burlington.
Okay,
and he's averaging 11.
You heard referee Art Hinker warn him on that. They're battling for it. Referee Hinker was saying no more complain. Put the arm up in the air.
Nick Nurse with the pass into David, who reciprocates. Nurse brings it into the front or west court here at Des Moines.
Your team fouls are even at 1 apiece. You shoot on 5 in high school.
Championship basketball. Gailing goes inside to David. And before the foul, the man who is prone on the floor getting up committed it. It is Norris. That is his first.
Refs are calling him tight. They're going to try and keep this one under control. You take a look inside. He's backing in, but blocking is what they called on the white jersey.
So you see Nick Nurse taking the ball out of bounds. End line front court, the west court here at Des Moines.
If we get foul trouble, both of these teams have bench.
John Oswald handling it, gives it to Nurse. Looks inside, it's Gailing, who has played so well in the previous 2 games. Gailing to Oswald. He feeds it into David. Perfect pass. David has his first basket. He's averaging 20 and a half on the season. He's averaging about 16 and a half during the tournament. So it's 3-2. That's Gaines being fouled on the shot. Deers will be assessed a personal, his first. Second team foul.
You're 2-2 as far as the team fouls are concerned.
Gaines goes to the line.
There's another look at it. Gaines is the boy that's up in the air, and they got him across the wrist.
Everybody, 2 shots.
He has started as a sophomore. You see, can hear clearly he's getting a pair.
Backup quarterback on their state runner-up football team. Waterloo says they're tired of being number 2. Week ago tonight, the girls of Waterloo Columbus were state runner-up to Fort Dodge. This team was runner-up to Sioux City East in football, and Waterloo Columbus was runner-up in their class of football. They won a number 1.
Well, their top scorer just has hit his first 2 free throws. He's the number 2 rebounder. Does a lot for him, and you'll hear a lot of him before the game is over. Chris Gaines, G-A-I-N-E-S.
Currently the number 2 scorer in the AAA scoring derby.
There's the press giving them trouble. David in the backcourt. They better hustle. Got to get it in. Nurse drops it off nicely for Gailing.
Once they broke the press, they had 3 on 2.
Gailing has his first field goal of the evening, 5-4.
Boy, did they peel back to set up a defense before Waterloo can get there.
This is Norris trying it from about 18 feet. The rebound went to Woods. He lost it, and Nurse picked it up. May have helped get it away from him. And quickly, Nurse moves into that front court. He's working against Woods, gives it to Gailing. Gailing to Deer, almost lost it. Deers feeds it off to David, slapped out of bounds by Norris. They'll return the ball to Carroll Kuemper.
David would appear to be getting a lot of running room along that baseline, working back in there, more than he's had this tournament.
Nurse along the near or north sidelines. Here at Betts Auditorium in Des Moines before an excellent crowd watching the 3A final. A new champion to be crowned in this class. That's Deers getting by Gaines from about 14, got half of it. The rebound on the floor. Gaines has it, comes out in a rush. Deers picks him up on the far side, cuts toward the bucket, gets ironed. The rebound by David, that big right hand as he came up out of the toaster and just hauled it in. 4.5 left to play, opening quarter. This is Nurse. Man to man. Nurse from about 18. It was partially blocked by Hodges. Gaines has it. Down to Hodges. Look out.
That's their game.
4 points for Larry Hodges. They take it away.
They must have taken it away.
They take it away from Hodges.
Must have been a travel.
That's the call. Traveling, Mitch.
Yep, must have been a travel. He was loose back there. That's their game.
Comes into Deers. Deers in the backcourt, picked up by Woods and by Gaines. David helps out, gives it to Nurse. He in turn gives it out to Oswald. A patient ball club. Work it around. They get it to David. He wheels. He deals. The rebound into the hands of Hodges. He tries to bust it out in a hurry and backs off. Carroll Kuemper getting back quickly and nicely. They have to. You're looking at Thomas. Lost the ball, picked up by Hodges. Thomas is exciting. Anything can happen once he gets his hands on the ball. And here's Mr. Excitement, too. Show and tell.
How about
Chris
that?
Gaines. He has 4, averaging 16.
Ought to go on the clinic film.
7-4 by 3 for the third time. They throw it away. They being Carroll Kuemper. The ball back to West Waterloo.
You know, we might have somewhat of a first here, Mark. These two officials, Art Hinker from Piasta and Dan Connery from Dubuque, were the same officials that worked the state girls tournament 6-on-6 championship last Saturday night when Fort Dodge beat Waterloo Columbus.
And they worked earlier in this tournament. We have a timeout on the floor. The score, Waterloo West 7 and Carroll Kuemper 4. Now this word from your local station. Kuemper High School, well represented, one of its cheerleaders before a nice house. Kuemper has 3 turnovers, West 2 here in the first 4.5 minutes of play.
Carroll Kuemper is the last hope of the parochials for this year. Mark, we've had a parochial winner in some class every year for the last 10 years. Kuemper is the last chance this year.
Saw the field goal percentages here in the early going. The ball out of bounds to West Waterloo. That is Hodges and Woods. Norris, Thomas, and Gaines complete their lineup. This is Woods with the left hand, giving it to Thomas. Woods, dangerous. His first basket. He's averaging better than 20 points a game in the tournament. He has been hot. Almost stolen away, but scrapped up by Nurse.
Got it away just in time.
Indeed. He gets it off to Mike Prenger, 6'2" senior, who's checked into the lineup, and he gets it back up into the front court.
Well, we saw West Waterloo just take Wahlert apart and Burlington apart because they just cake you out of your game.
Frank Molak, number 21, is in the lineup. David has it. They get it out of his hands. Peel it away. There goes Gaines. Will he try it? He will. 6 points for Chris Gaines, 2 of them field goals. It's 11-4, and the difference now is 7.
And Kuemper trying to keep the tempo in mind. They don't want to get into that transition game with West.
Absolutely. This is Nurse. Had a hunch, backed away.
Hard not to hurry when you're behind, though.
Right. Working against a man-to-man. That's the baseline attempt by Nurse. Tip up is no good by David. Again by David. The third time by David.
And that's what Lute Olson liked when he was here yesterday. Lute's not here tonight. Kid can tip it.
11-6.
Keep it alive.
Gaines looking inside at Thomas. Being worked over by Gayling. They go over to Woods.
Oof.
Woods from about 16. Traveled before the shot.
Heck of a fake, but the fake got him the travel again.
Sure. We've seen quite a bit of those in this tournament.
John Oswald coming back in.
A starter.
So's Bill Deers.
He'll be replacing Molak and Prenger. Those two going back out.
Kuemper trying to keep some fresh people in there because if they get into a foot race with West Waterloo later, they'll need fresh people.
Prenger remains. I stand corrected. Prenger is still in the line. So's Molak. They bounce it inside to David with that right hand, a little bit too hard. Rebounded by Gaines. Gaines leads it down court. On the wing, gives it to Thomas, and bango! 3 points for Thomas.
Oh, that turns the crowd on.
West Waterloo crowd loves it. 13-6. The spread is 7 for the second time.
That just tied Gaines with Crooks of Fort Dodge for the score.
Throws it away. That's Woods.
Oh, this is their game.
And right away, Carroll Kuemper calls another timeout. Timeout on the floor with the score. West Waterloo 15, Carroll Kuemper 6. Now this word from your local station.
Here's two-camera coverage on Anthony Thomas. Look at his feet. Now he comes down that baseline. Watch him go up. Boom. Drops it right in. Want to see the same thing from the other angle? Here's camera 2 this time, as you'll see the intercept there by Woods. Now they're driving down. Look, this is going to be his just layup on the steal by Terry Woods.
Woods has a total of 4 points. Thomas has a total of 3 so far. Mitch and I talked about tempo early on in this telecast, and so far West Waterloo has had its way, and that's what Wayne Chandley is trying to communicate to his people. You can't play it that way, and you can't make those mistakes. But this is a very quick West Waterloo team, very fast.
And a very young team.
That press has really bothered him. A long pass down to Oswald. He'll try it. He was fouled on the way in by Thomas, his first personal foul.
But it might have been a smart foul. Other than that, it was 2 sure points.
Out of bounds.
Take another look at it right there. There won't be a free throw coming up.
Caught him on the way down.
That's right. So it's only the third team foul, and they're not shooting. Otherwise, it was 2 points.
So 5'10" senior Frank Molak will take the ball out of bounds. End line, front court, with the long pass out to Oswald.
Don't push him.
Working against the 2-3 zone. This is Oswald, gets in the lane.
Pretty nice move.
Oswald had a fine game against Fort Dodge. Gets his first scoring here this evening, 15-8.
Oswald's a role player. His job, get it to David if he can, or Gehling.
Down to 7. Thomas, guarded by Deers. This is Woods. The rebound taken off by Deers. Towering rebound by the senior. Check it, a junior, 6'4". The ball over to Molak. Molak feeds it off to David, trying to get around Thomas. A little bit strong. The rebound by Gaines. Foul from behind.
Thank you.
And they're going to put it on Prenger.
Out of bounds.
That's his first.
And that's team number 3 on Kuemper.
18 seconds left in the quarter. 15-8.
That's Coach Mike Hearn nervously
Working that towel over.
That's Wayne Chandley.
He's getting water out of it, and the towel's dry. This is Hodges. Lane violation. I don't know who it was parked in there. It was either Thomas or Gaines, but be that as it may, the ball goes over to Carroll Kuemper.
Referee pointed to Gaines.
Molak brings it in, gives it to Oswald, 7 seconds. Near side to Nurse. They pump it, Molak. It doesn't go at the end of the quarter. That's the end of the first frame with the score. West Waterloo 15, Carroll Kuemper 8. We'll be back after this word from your local station.
Well, Mother, if you're wondering about that missing bed sheet, I think I found it, Mark.
Kuemper is here and the Stars are out, but so far in the first quarter, West Waterloo is starred. They won that battle by 7. 6 points coming from Chris Gaines, who led all scoring in the opening quarter of play. Here's David going up against Thomas to start the second frame. 3A championship. The tip into the hands of Gehling. Carroll Kuemper in control. Prenger, Gehling, and Nurse have checked back into the lineup for Carroll Kuemper. That's Deers trying it. The rebound goes to Thomas, dug away by Nurse. He tried to put it up, or he tried to get it to David, but it was picked off by Woods. He'll come down, try from 15. It won't go. It's tipped out of bounds. They'll give the ball to Carroll Kuemper.
Carroll Kuemper against Fort Dodge had a coach's dream with all 5 starters in double figures. They need that balance again tonight.
The quickness, the speed of West Waterloo is what has to be overcome by Kuemper, and they know it. This is Nurse. Brings it back out into the hands of Molak. Molak and Nurse operating out at the guards. We have Deers and Gehling on the wings. David underneath. Deers will try again. This time he connects. Bill Deers averaging 8.5 on the season as his first scoring of the night. He's averaging 11.5 in the previous 2 games of the tournament.
That's the tempo of the dance that Carroll would like.
15 to 10. The difference is 5. It has been 9. Kuemper's never led. It's not been tied. You're looking at Norris, and the rebound goes to Gehling.
That's their center that came out there at the top of the circle
Exactly.
to take the shot.
They only had Thomas down there for rebounds, and as a result, they got just a 1 shot on the miss. That's Gehling handling it.
Pick 21, you move.
They're calling it against Molak.
Illegal pick. He was moving that time. Your screen has to be set.
And he nodded his head in agreement. He knew he had caught. That's his first personal. 15-10. It stays.
Fresh troops are coming in. Larry Hodges comes back.
The starter for Waterloo, and going out of the lineup is Reggie Mosley, the 6'3" senior. Mosley has played quite a bit in a reserve role, and on occasion has played in outstanding fashion. So Hodges with the right hand moves into the East Court here at Betts Auditorium. Thomas.
He can play.
Give him a total of 5.
17-year-old junior in high school.
The spread is 7. This is David in the front court giving it to Nurse. Gehling will try his luck. Gets the steal. Deers on the follow-up. At good position. Bill Deers has a total of 4 on a couple of field goals.
And so Kuemper matching him bucket for bucket right now. Can't seem to cut any headway, but they're staying even.
Down to 5. This is Thomas going into Norris. Norris wheeling and dealing with the right hand. It doesn't happen. The rebound to Deers in front of Thomas. Clears himself and gives the ball up quickly to Nurse. To Molak. Operating against what looks like that 2-3 zone. They go inside to David from behind the backboard. It goes.
Excellent.
3 field goals for David, and the spread is 3, 17-14. Woods with the ball and the lead.
The yellow and red crowd really lights up now.
5:28 left to go in the first half. This is Gaines working against Deers. Man to man. Inside to Norris, top of David with the hook. Deers on the rebound. He's done a good job on the defensive boards.
Norris has missed 3 in a row, and all 3 times Carroll got the rebound.
Deers breaks through into the front court, gets it off to Molak. Down to 5 minutes now in a half.
And you can see him trying to slow it down.
Drops it for Nurse. He'll try a 3-pointer. It won't go. The rebound Gaines high after it. Some of the officials in the crowd thought he may have traveled. Works beautifully, bangs it home.
And that's the difference in the 2 dancing partners right there.
Chris Gaines, beautiful tempo on the dribble, slows it up, speeds it up.
Gaines is now the leading scorer in the state tournament AAA with 51 points.
We're back to 5. He has 8 in this game so far. Looks like John Oswald getting ready to come in for Carroll Kuemper. The ball given to Nurse. He drops it for Gehling. The shot is by Molak. On the money, Molak, his first scoring.
Boy, another foot, that would have been 3. It was a 2.
Down to 3, 19-16 with 4:10 remaining to be played in the half. Terry Woods, the 5'9" junior. Gives it to Norris, back to Woods. Back to Norris, beautifully. It falls.
Hey, he finally got one.
Norris's first scoring, gets the pass from Woods. David moves it up court to Deer, almost fouled by Gaines. They feed it off to Molak. Molak trying to bank it home, and does.
Crowd wondering about some of the contact. It's incidental contact. No harm, no foul.
Right. Doesn't give the person making the contact an advantage, and as a result, they don't call it. 21-18. This is Thomas looking at Norris, working against Gailing. Beautiful pass underneath to Hodges.
The back door was open.
Thomas on the assist, Hodges with the bucket. He has 4, 2 field goals, 23-18. Back to 5. Nurse. Gailing. In the lane to Deers. Almost fouled by Gaines. They let it go. Nurse on the shot. It won't go. The battle for the rebound out of bounds. They'll give the ball to Carroll Kuemper. Gaines touched it last.
And the revolving door goes around again, Mark. Fresh blood for Carroll Kuemper.
Starter Oswald is back in. Molak goes out. Molak has played well in reserve. Got a couple of field goals. And that's a lot so far in this early going. 23-18 it stays. West Waterloo out in the lead. That's Nurse.
West Waterloo was number 2 in the state in football last year. At halftime, I'll be asking Bernie Sago about the new setup in football playoffs.
Deers tries his luck. Doesn't get any. Thomas on the rebound. Gets it to Hodges. Nurse picks him up as they get back. Now Hodges with the lane drive. Fouled on the way in. He was by Nurse, who got to him. That's his first.
Pretty nifty young man, Larry Hodges.
They've got a few of them.
Take a look at Hodges, working dribble left hand, threads the needle, goes up in the air, gets the shot away, it just doesn't fall.
62%er from the free throw line. This will be his first attempt from the line. He'll be getting a pair.
Larry Hodges is the only senior starter on this ball club.
He's actually made the difference lately, according to Coach Mike Hearn. Come on in the last 6 to 8 games.
You know, Bob Landis over at Cedar Rapids started 4 juniors for Linmar this year, and East Des Moines, which won the Metro here in the capital city, their top 6 were all juniors. What a year that next one ought to be.
For these people are juniors. Hodges was a starter last year. Cans them both. He has a total of 6, 25-18. They build it up to 7. They have led by 9. Oswald picked up by Hodges in the backcourt on the press. They give it to Nurse. Gaines works him over. They give it up to Oswald. Constantly harassing. This is Gailing going into David. He'll go over and around Norris. David with a big league move. He has a total of 8. 25-20. The shot attempt by Gaines. And the foul is going to be whistled. It is against number 23, Mike Prenger. Gaines has a total of 10 points.
Chris Gaines, 165 pounds, but stretches it out. He looks like he'd be fragile, but this kid's a quarterback, backup quarterback on that state runner football team. He can take a hit.
Hearns describes him as the bread and butter of his offense. He can do just about everything.
How'd you used to describe the thin players? How they can take a shower.
In the shotgun barrel.
Right.
Well, he's close to it. The rebound comes off right into the hands of Oswald, who in turn gives it to Molak. Molak back into that lineup, along with Deers, Prenger, and David. The ball into David. Off to the left, up with the right hand. Gets his own rebound. Will try again. A little stronger, and he gets it this time. A total of 10. 5 field goals for David.
That's why Arizona wanted him.
This is Gaines. He was hit as he shot.
And he's going back to the free throw line again.
Who got him? Prenger?
Let's take another look at Gaines. He's number 24. He's the thin man right there. Has the ball on the floor, moving inside. Tries to fade away. They reached up and got him.
And it was Prenger. So Gaines goes to the line again. He missed just a moment ago. He did his first 2 free throws in the opening frame. Now he has missed 2 in a row.
The thin man looks like he could tread water in a garden hose.
Here's Terry Woods back in the lineup as David Greer comes out. The 5'11 senior is replaced. And back into the ball game comes Gailing, G-E-H-L-I-N-G, pronounced Gailing.
Hard to imagine
goes out.
with the tempo Waterloo plays. They have committed only 3 fouls in the first half of this ball game.
Nurse replaces Oswald. Molak and Nurse and David. David plays continuously. Gailing and Deers. Again with the left hand. At bat for it is Deers. So Gaines has missed the last 3 in a row after making his initial 2. 1:40 left to play in the half. The difference is 5. Nurse inside to David, lost the ball and retrieved in there by Matt Flemmer, F-L-E-M-E-R, 6'5" junior. Gives it down to Thomas. Thomas to Hodges. Hodges looks in at Flemmer, can't get it there, gives to Woods. Back to Hodges. Hodges from 21 feet. Underneath, somebody pushing. It was Deers. Bill Deers, his second personal foul.
And will it be Gaines at the line again?
Yes, it will.
Missed his last 3.
Yes, he has.
You think he isn't thinking about it right now?
And he's a 75%er, so you know it's only a matter of time. He had 26 in the Wahlert win. He had 17 in the Burlington win, so you know he puts in a full game.
Well, he can get up. Against Wahlert, he not only had 26 points, but 2 of them were slam dunks.
3 out of 6 from the line now, 50%. And there are the stats on him. You can tell he's an excellent shooter. No,
won't go.
Free throws are coming hard here this evening. Gain perhaps means a little bit more. Up to Nurse from Molak, picked up by Thomas. Molak feeds it out nicely to Gehling. Nice assist by Molak. Gehling has a total of 4. 28-24. We're under a minute in the half.
You know, Waterloo West in the opening game with Wahlert shot better from the field than he did the free throw line.
Woods misses. The ball rebounds out of bounds. And here's Norris back into the lineup. He'll be replacing Matt Flemmer, who in turn replaced him earlier.
In that Wahlert game, Waterloo shot 53.2 from the field, 52% at the line.
There's a timeout on the floor with the score. West Waterloo 28, Carroll Kuemper 24. Now this word from your local station. Carroll Kuemper, behind 15-8 at the quarter mark, has outscored West Waterloo 16-13 so far here in the final frame and narrowed it to 4, 28-24.
Mike Hearn, the coach of West Waterloo, in our interview after the semifinals, Mark, said that his team's game plays better on a 94-foot court than the regular 84s they play in high school, and he credits their success down here to playing their sub-state final in the Unidome up at the University of Northern Iowa at Cedar Falls with the wide open space.
That's Molak working against Hodges, drops it for Nurse. You saw the attempted steal, the shot by Gehling. 6 points for Gehling. We have a 2-point ball game.
You bet.
This is Woods bringing it up with 30 seconds remaining in the half. Hodges against Molak. Inside beautifully to Gaines. David stopped it but fouled him.
Fouls on David.
That's his first.
I thought he was going to get called for pinning on the glass for a moment.
2 shots, everybody.
2 shots, but Gaines can't seem to buy one. You take a look at it, right? That's Gaines, number 24. David is up there, just wedges it right against the rim.
And as you can see, David thought there wasn't any contact. The official saw it differently. So Gaines, who has hit only 3 of 7 from the line, will try to improve on that. And does.
He did.
4 out of 8. But he's still batting .500, and he's much better than that.
As a team against Wahlert, they were 11 of 18. Check it, they were 10 of 19.
The left-hander parks the second one.
Boy, he hit him when they needed him.
Give him 13. 30-26, back up to 4 with 20 seconds left to play in the half. Kuemper trying to scratch back into it, and for all intents and purposes has done that. The shot attempt by Nurse, right on the money. His first basket. He's averaging 12. That's his first score. Down to 5. Watch the countdown on the screen. This is Hodges. Perfect. Hodges at the buzzer gets his 8th point. That's the end of the first half with the score. West Waterloo 32, Carroll Kuemper 28. We'll be back after this word from your local station. We've got a honey of a 3A final for you at intermission. It's 32-28 West Waterloo, but Carroll Kuemper wins the battle of the second quarter 20-17 on the wings of field goals by Brian David, Bill Deers, and Roger Gailing, who output him back into the ball game. Well, we'll be back at Veterans Auditorium in a moment after this pause for station identification. And we're going to take you center court now for the awards presentation and Mo Kelly.
Ladies and gentlemen, to assist me with some presentations this halftime, two members of the Iowa High School Athletic Association Board of Control. To my near left is John Gannon, Superintendent of Schools at Emmetsburg. And next to John is Dr. Ken Sand, the Superintendent of Schools at Southeast Polk. Lyle T. Quinn was the Executive Secretary of the Iowa High School Athletic Association for better than 25 years. He devoted his life to education and to high school athletics. He was a leader in education and high school athletics not only in Iowa, but across the entire nation. In his honor this evening, we'd like to present two gentlemen with the Lyle T. Quinn Awards for 1985. This first fellow we'd like to honor isn't very big, but he was an all Big Ten football guard at the University of Iowa. He went into education and so far has served some 37 years. He's been a coach, he's been an athletic director, he's been a principal, and presently the Davenport Community Schools have Mr. Bob Liddy as their Director of Athletics, Health, and Physical Education. How about a nice hand for Lyle T. Quinn Award winner Bob Liddy and his wife Jane. The next gentleman also has served Iowa education well for a number of years. In recent years as superintendent of the Britt Community Schools. He served on the Iowa High School Athletic Association Board of Control for the maximum total of 10 years as elected by his peers. I would have to say he's probably one of the top athletic, as far as supporting athletics, one of the top men in the entire state. Every athletic event statewide that we hold, you're bound to see Dr. Ted Runyon of Britt in attendance. How about a nice hand for Dr. Ted Runyon and his wife, Dorothy. Turning to our Basketball Hall of Fame, each year it's a real pleasure to induct some new members in our Basketball Hall of Fame, both former coaches, former players who have excelled in the sport throughout the long history in our state of that sport. Let's begin with former coaches. The first gentleman we're honoring with induction into the Hall of Fame this year, coached for a number of years, 20 plus years. Gained over 420 victories in his coaching career. He had 4 teams in the state tournament, 1 at Hayfield and 3 of those fabulous Roland teams, one of them a state champion. How about a nice hand for Hall of Fame coach Kenneth Pat Eldridge and his wife Irene. The next gentleman, another longtime coach who served many schools in our state, including Lytton and Fonda OLGC. As a matter of fact, spent a couple of terms there and had a Fonda OLGC team in our state tournament on one occasion. Some 29 years of coaching. How about a nice hand for Hall of Fame coach Tony Sieben and his wife Frances. Here's another gentleman that is still teaching and doing some coaching of golf in the Fort Dodge St. Edmund system. He too is a long-time coaching veteran, coaching some 29 years of basketball at 3 or 4 different schools, including Pocahontas Catholic and Carroll Kuemper and then St. Edmund. He had a St. Edmund team in our state tournament. As a matter of fact, they finished 4th the year that he brought them here. Our Hall of Fame coach from Fort Dodge St. Edmund is Dick Wiedenfeld and his wife Mary. Turning to the player category, the next gentleman came from a relatively small community of Holstein. But around 1940, did they have some exceptional athletes and some great athletic teams. His junior and senior seasons, they were undefeated in football. He was an all-stater. Both his junior and senior season, they were undefeated until the state tournament in basketball. One year they finished 3rd. The next year they finished 2nd in the state. He, of course, led that team in both scoring and rebounding and was an all-stater. From Holstein, Verdine Getch and his wife, Velma. The next former player also came from a small community right up the road here, 30 miles or so, a little community called Madrid. But what a career he had at Madrid High School. He was one of the all-time scoring leaders, Iowa career in his prep days, led the state in scoring with some 32 points a game as a junior. A great runner, too. That was part of his success, his great mobility to go with his great size. He was recruited by the University of Iowa, played on 2 outstanding championship Big Ten Hawkeye teams, including that one fabulous team that won the title with a 14-0 record and just barely missed a Final Four spot. How about a nice hand for Hall of Famer Dick Jensen from Madrid? In the 1960s, for about a 10-year period, there was no more successful basketball program in our state than that possessed by Ottumwa Walsh. They won some 80% of their ball games in a 10-year period. And this gentleman was one of the first stars of those fine Walsh teams. He set an all-time career scoring record in Iowa as a prep. That record stood for some 15 years. How about a nice hand for Hall of Famer from Ottumwa Walsh, Mike Putnam, and he's accompanied by his son, Mike. Now we go down to the far southeastern corner of the state to Davenport West. This gentleman was on the first 2 Davenport West teams that ever appeared in our state tournament. As a junior, he was on a West team that won a state title. They came back the next year, and he was on the all-tournament team. He later went to Dakota State, had an outstanding career there, still holds numerous collegiate records at that school. Hall of Famer from Davenport West, Steve Saladino, and his wife, Joy. Turning now to our Officials Hall of Fame. A few years ago, it was decided that it was about time we start applauding our officials instead of doing some heckling of them. These fellas that we're going to introduce to you now have all served in excess of 25 years as a high school official. You're away from your family a lot, and you don't get rich officiating high school sports. Most of them officiated more than one sport. Most of them officiated 2 or 3, and they all had state tournament experience in at least one of those sports. First of all, our Officials Hall of Fame from West Union, meet Ken Anderson. From Iowa City, how about a nice hand for new inductee in the Officials Hall of Fame, Don Farnsworth, and his wife, Dorothy. From Mondamon, rural Mondamon, we have Q.S. McClanahan and his wife, Fema. From Boone, we have Harold Schmickley and his wife, Margaret. Another inductee in our Officials Hall of Fame this year is the former Leonard Schillinglaw of New Hampton. He's represented tonight by his son, Dr. John Schillinglaw. And how about a nice hand for the Officials Hall of Fame inductees and all of our honorees in 1985. Thank you so much.
And we'll be back at Veterans Auditorium with more halftime activities after this word from your local station. Halftime in the 3A championship. There's the tail of the tape. West Waterloo out in front of Carroll Kuemper, 32-28 here at intermission. And let's go meet a guy who's perhaps more involved in this than anyone else visiting with Frosty Mitchell courtside.
Well, a dog might be man's best friend, but you're looking at the best friend an Iowa boy ever had. Bernie Sagaw, who's executive secretary of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. His responsibility is every boy in Iowa.
That's good.
It's a big job, and it's been 32 basketball games here in Des Moines, but of course it goes on with a lot of different sports during the year. Bernie, one of the things I like about your organization, you're always changing things.
Well, I think that's what makes everything go, and if we have good ideas from our school people, we give them a try.
Well, you gave another whole class of basketball a try this week. I suppose the jury's still out. What do you think?
Oh, I don't think the jury's out at all. I think it was a heck of a success and gave a lot of young men a lot of opportunities they wouldn't have had, and we're just sold on it. The enthusiasm that they brought into the tournament was great.
You know, Rusty Mitchell said, he said, Bernie Sagal will never get those crowds to move out of the auditorium with this general admission ticket thing you tried this year. That's what I said.
Frosty, there was never any doubt. I tell you what, we decided we wanted everybody to sit alongside the floor when their teams played, and it's impossible with 4 games going on in one session, so we said, we'll just ask them to move, and they said it won't work, but it did because we got the best fans in the country.
Yeah, we just took one announcement on the PA, and the people politely moved over and let the other people move in, but that one surprised me.
Well, the cheerleaders and the school administrators helped make it work. There was a little work ahead of time, too.
Well, it's just been a great basketball tournament from that standpoint. You've got a responsibility other than to the state of Iowa. You've got another title, Bernie, as far as national basketball rules. What's the title, first of all?
Well, I'm chairman of the National High School Basketball Rules Committee and have been for the last 7 years.
All right, then I'm talking to the head man. Are we going to have a 3-point shot after this year or not?
Well, I kind of doubt it. I don't think the committee has enough foresight at this time to pass it. You know, they're too traditional, perhaps. But if the rules people turn us down, we'll put a vote out to our coaches and our school administrators, and if they vote in favor of it, we'll have the 3-point play next year.
You know, the fans love it. The shocking thing to me is the number of coaches that don't like it.
Well, they think it takes a little bit away from coaching. I always say if you don't like it, don't try it. But those that use it, I think it adds excitement to the game. It's our place of the dunk shot. In college ball, gets everybody revved up. Well, in high school, the 3-point play is our dunk shot.
So, Bernie, is it possible if the nation didn't go with it that Iowa could still have it?
Yes, it's very possible. If our coaches and the school administrators want it, we'll have it.
All right, the big story is football. You're making some changes there.
Yes, we're going out and have 12 meetings in the state with regards to district football concept. We have lots of problems with scheduling of football games and conference realignment. At least we're going to go out and explain the concept of district football. We will tell everybody what 8 schools are in a district. The winner from that district will go to the playoffs, and we think it'll solve a lot of problems of conference realignment. It may never work, but we got to go out and tell people about it and see if they want to change.
Well, the changes worked in basketball, Bernie. For all you do for all of us, the fans, and particularly all of these kids so involved, thank you.
Well, it's always been my pleasure. Just exciting to be around them.
Bernie Sagal, he's the man in charge of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. Let's go back to the man in charge of the booth, Mark Zellis.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Bernie. Here come the Warhawks of West Waterloo back onto the playing court. We expect Carroll Kuemper to follow suit momentarily, and we'll get the show on the road for the second half. The first half belonged to West Waterloo, 32-28. Here's how some of that came about. We're taking a look first at Nick Nurse in our highlight package for you as Nurse gets the ball to Gailing, and Carroll Kuemper comes up with a couple of points. Here's Gailing firing it. He has 6 here at halftime. Now let's take a look at Chris Gaines threading his way through the traffic for a layup. Acrobatically, right on the numbers. Now it's Nurse driving for a shot. He's going to miss it. David will follow up. Once on the tip, twice on the tip, 3 times on the tip, and he rams it home. David has 10 at intermission time. Now we'll take a look at Gaines feeding Thomas for the stuff. Beautiful vertical jump. Slammo. Gaines again this way on a solo performance. Great move in the lane. Slips by the defense, puts it up with the right hand. And finally, Gailing. Along the baseline. This is David putting it up, and he puts it in. So that's part of halftime, and we'll be back with the start of the second half after this word from your local station. In 16 minutes of playing time from now, we will determine the 3A champion. Hull Western Christian was determined the 2A champion earlier this evening with an easy win over Comanche. Yesterday, Lone Tree took Class A, Nashua took 1A. Perhaps the most interesting statistic of the first half is the fact that Waterloo West made 8 of 13 free throws. There you see the graphic, and you'll notice that Carroll Kuemper never went to the free throw line once. So though Carroll Kuemper scored 2 more field goals, 14-12, Waterloo West made 8 more free throws. The rebounds, Kuemper dominating there by 4. The turnovers, pretty even, with Kuemper leading 8-5 in that category. So those free throws, Kuemper never getting to the line at all in the first half. That's pretty unusual when you think of 3A basketball and the kind of game this has been. What will happen in the second half? Well, we'll see if Kuemper can continue its climb. We'll see if West Waterloo can continue to hold on to its lead. Kuemper has never led. It has never been tied. The two teams shake hands. The fans respond. The coaches appear ready. Wayne Chandley. And of course, Coach Mike Hearn of the Waterloo Wahawks. And here we go. David will go up against Gaines on the center. Nope, Thomas will go against David in the center jump. Carroll Kuemper going to our right, the east goal. They control the tip. Oswald has it. So we're off and running. Nurse and Oswald, along with Gailing, Deers, and David. Man to man. They go inside to David. David over the top of Norris. 12 points for Brian David, and the spread is 2. 7.5 left to play in the third. You're looking at Gaines. He traveled.
He wanted the quick start. He got it, but he had an extra step along the way.
We have seen that pretty consistently in the tournament. Turnover gives the ball to Kuemper and a chance for our first tie of this ball game. Long pass down to David. He can't get at it.
That was a gamble pass.
Yep, almost worked.
He must have touched it because they're playing it in at that end rather than where the pass originated.
I didn't notice. Perhaps he did. He probably did get a finger on it. Hodges gets the ball in to Thomas. Thomas guarded by Gailing and tightly. They get it to Hodges, shoots over the top of Deers and gets it.
Isn't that nice?
10 for Hodges.
The only senior out there for West Waterloo.
And they're up to 4 again. 34-30. They have led by as much as 9.
13 times to state for the kids in Blackhawk County.
Stealing it away, not quite, almost. Deers in the backcourt gets it up front to Oswald. Oswald drives into the lane, underneath to David. Rejected beautifully by Thomas, picked up by Gaines. Super defense.
Boy, does Carroll try and get back on defense.
No hesitancy whatsoever. This is Norris trying, and the rebound goes to Gailing. Gailing gives it to Nurse. You saw Terry Woods, he had larceny in his heart. Oswald trying to get it to Nurse and does. Working against, looks like a man-to-man. The shot attempt is perfect by Gailing. He has 8 points. Gailing has had a fine tournament, win or lose.
They're letting them play. Neither team in any foul trouble. Haven't had one called yet this half. There it is.
Oswald reaching in. Got him across the arm, apparently, and Oswald is saddled with his first personal foul.
Went a minute and 40 seconds without a foul here in the third quarter either way. You take a look at this one. Anybody can probably see that one as he reached in.
And you heard the official holler, out of bounds. And that's where Gaines will take it in. From the west end, we give you a shot from our camera up on top. A good look as it's passed to Norris. Norris to Woods, shoots over the screen, doesn't go. David on the rebound.
Well, he's off to a big start in this third quarter.
6'9" senior stretches it out, hauls it in.
He's from Templeton, Iowa. Goes to Carroll Kuemper.
Both teams have been told you better get it done this half. That's David trying to bank it home. He can't follow up David. Are they letting him play?
Are they?
Goodness gracious.
Norris went down.
For David.
The referees had warned Norris earlier about faking fouls.
That's Gaines looking in at Norris. Goes to him. They're going to call it on whom? On Deers.
Yep, Norris decided two can play this game. I'm going to muscle in there too. But he'll be shooting. Will he not be shooting? Nope.
It'll be out of bounds. Woods will take it out. Coach Chandley
2 team fouls on Kuemper Carroll, none on West Waterloo.
Kemper's never won it, Mitch. Runner-up in '69. They've got it tied the first time tonight. Nice pass to Thomas.
Kemper's
He
been
blows the layup. The
time.
rebound taken by Gehling. Drops it to Nurse. You won't see Thomas do that too often.
They're shooting for the lead when they take the shot, Mark.
Interesting. Oswald will try it. No. Who's pushing underneath? Deers? Deers is pushing underneath.
That's 3 team fouls on Kuemper.
And 4 on Deers as we have it. We'll double check the official scoring on it. That's correct. 4. He's in trouble. So the ball goes out of bounds to Terry Woods.
Boy, how fast he went from no trouble to serious trouble.
Gives to Hodges to Woods. Picked up by Nurse. Over to Hodges. Picked up by Oswald. Thomas underneath beautifully to Gaines.
Wasn't that a feed?
They're going to call the foul on David.
And the basket's going to count. That'll be 4 team fouls on Kuemper.
Thomas with a superb assist. Look at the pass.
Look at that in there. Now David goes up and apparently pushed off. They ruled for the rebound. Well, what it simply means, Waterloo hasn't committed a foul, but Kuemper has 4. So from the rest of this season for Kuemper, they're sending West Waterloo to the line.
David has a couple of personals. Gaines after it.
He had a tough time at that line in the first half.
16 for Chris Gaines.
Gaines is the leading scorer in the AAA tournament with 59 points.
Here's a long pass down to Oswald. The layup. Yeah.
And they beat Waterloo at their own game. Speed.
4 points for Johnny Oswald. 37-36 by 1. West Waterloo. Hodges. Picked the pocket. Nurse took it away from Thomas. And guess who's out in front for the first time tonight?
Nick Nurse.
Kuemper by 1. 38-37.
He's the quarterback, Nick Nurse.
Crowd going bananas. There's Norris on the rim. The rebound battle for. Coming up with it is Prenger.
Now Kuemper can definitely dictate tempo if they want to.
Nurse drops it out front for Oswald.
When you've got the lead in the ball, you can control it.
Into David over the top of Norris. It won't fall. David gets the rebound. And let's see. The push is on who? Woods?
23 foul. Over the...
Foul was on Kuemper.
Foul is on Mike Prenger.
That's 6 fouls on Kuemper, none on Waterloo, and Wayne Chandley not believing it.
And that's 3 on Prenger.
It's 1-1 the rest of the way. You take a look at it in there, a real mix master going. See where the foul came from. It was on number 23 in the red.
So Mike Prenger has picked up his 3rd. As Mitch has said, they're on the line for everything from here on in. And that was a telling statistic in the first half. It's what gave them the lead. So they enjoy it in the second, and Woods is on the line. He is looking for his first free throw and his 5th point. It's 51% from the line. It doesn't go. Follow-up is in by Matt Flemmer. Flemmer in reserve. Gives West Waterloo the lead, 39-38. David in the front court. They're going to call it on Flemmer.
That's the first foul in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter on Waterloo. Flemmer, there are 2 twin brothers named Flemmer on this team. That one on Matt.
And Paul waiting on the sidelines in case he is needed. So it's out of bounds. Nurse puts it into David. David comes out to Oswald. Coming down to 4 minutes left in the third. Nurse ventures in out to Oswald. He'll drive and bangs it home. And I mean bangs it home.
Man, that was a power bucket.
That's 6 for Oswald. 40-39. Kuemper for the second time out by 1. Hodges gives to Thomas to Hodges. They have respect for him. Hodges with the right hand. Right on the money. Pretty shot. Give Hodges a dozen. He's averaging 9. His best game so far in the tournament. Save the best for last. That's Nurse. They give it to Oswald in the front court. To Nurse. To Prenger. Again, the officials in the crowd reacting, thinking something should have been called. Prenger handling it. Had a hunch, changes his mind. Now he will shoot. Nothing. The foul is on Gaines. Comes down in a hurry. Traveled.
Palmed the ball.
He carried it with that left hand.
Right, he palmed the ball.
41-40. West Waterloo out in front. It's been back and forth. We've got a timeout on the floor. With the score, West Waterloo 41, Carroll Kuemper 40. Now this word from your local station.
Take a look at this, man. Here's watching Pommet. See, when he turns it over there, he kind of held it up by just then turned it, and that's what they call palming the ball under the double dribble rule.
They're into this one here at Vets Auditorium. A great crowd on hand, and they're letting them play, as they say. The officiating is consistent both ways.
Some of those dribbles come up a little funny. This is a portable floor. Mark, it was down here last Saturday night. They took it up Saturday night for a rock concert on Sunday and put it back down Sunday night for this tournament that started last Monday.
And this is Nurse coming into the front court, seeing if Kuemper can regain the lead once again. They've had it twice, each time by 1 point. Nurse near side to Oswald. He's alone. The rebound comes out. They battle for it, and they will call a foul on Gaines.
And boy, is the Kuemper crowd into this ball game.
Physical ball game.
Relax.
It'll be Nurse taking it out of bounds. He'll be the trigger man along the northern sidelines, east court.
Second team foul, I believe, on Waterloo.
That's correct. (41-40). West Waterloo continues to lead. We have under 3 left to go in the third period. A lot of basketball left. That's David giving the ball to Nurse. Nurse into the lane. Will he try it? No. Prenger shuffles the feet. So West Waterloo gets it back, and Woods and Hodges will advance it.
And Carroll Kuemper hustles back to set up a defense.
Always. When you play West, you better hustle. Fire Brigade basketball if they get the opportunity. Chris Gaines looking for an opportunity. It's stolen by Nurse. Beautiful defense by Nurse. Saw it all the way. Near side to Prenger. Out to Nurse.
You know, we get to this end, there's a lot of discipline. We go the other way, it's just street ball.
Man to man. The ball given to Gehling. He gives it to Oswald. Fakes beautifully. Drives the lane. It won't fall. The rebound underneath, and a travel is going to be called on Prenger. Mike Prenger, the 6'2 senior, walks, and the ball goes over to West Waterloo.
And we're 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the third quarter. All the marbles in the ring.
Frank Molak, M-O-L-A-K, 5'10 senior, back into the lineup. He replaces Oswald. That's a Kuemper change. Coming down to 2 left in the third. This is Hodges. This is Woods. 3-point.
Got it. Touchdown signal goes up.
New school assist record, and you can see the kid can shoot as well. He's a junior, 43% from the field, a 3-point bell ringer.
He made 12 of those during the regular season.
The difference now is 4, 44-40. Prenger moves it in.
Woods had 3 of those against Burlington.
Nurse to Prenger again, looking for David. Can't find him. He'll try the shot. Right on the money. Mike Prenger, his first scoring of the evening.
We're at 1:25 in the third frame.
2 left. Thomas. Touch last. Nope. They'll give the ball to Carroll Kuemper.
Yeah, it wasn't an air ball. It was a deflection. That's a good call.
Okay. Nope.
Wayne Chandley doesn't think so, but it was a good call.
Here's Prenger coming out. Oswald in. Oswald just getting a minute's rest. They'll give the ball out of bounds to West Waterloo. Candid close-up of Gaines as he passed it into Woods. Had a hunch from three-point range, changed his mind. Thomas. They're going to call it on Oswald.
And Mr. Thomas will be going to the charity stripe.
That's 2 on Oswald. Thomas, a 56%er, has made 1 out of 2 from the line.
You take a look at it. I'm sure he's fouled in the act of shooting. He's going up. The body's part of the shot. Yes, he'll be going to the line as you saw him fouled in the act.
He was the number 2 scorer in 3A coming in to this game. During the tournament, he had 42 points and 21 rebounds.
The kids call him Stone because of his fine body structure. He was the starting fullback on that state runner-up football team.
In the tournament trail here, he was the top scorer and top rebounder for the West Waterloo Ball Club. They will not give
Over
it
the
to
line.
him. And he nods in agreement. He went over the line.
Well, we're down to that point of the game, Mark.
Don't see that often.
Here on in, the team that makes the fewest mistakes might win.
The difference is 3. West Waterloo enjoys it. Molak with the ball, being guarded by Woods. They're going to call time for red. That's Carroll Kuemper. On the floor, timeout. The score, West Waterloo 45, Carroll Kuemper 42. Now this word from your local station. There you see the time remaining in the third period. Still another full quarter to go here at Betts Auditorium in this 3A final between 2 good ball clubs, really giving it a go.
Mark, the last time a parochial won it all in 3A was Davenport Assumption in 1982. Wahlert Dubuque won it back-to-back in 80 and 81. Dowling West Des Moines won it in 79. In other words, the parochials had a lock from 1979 through 82.
We'll have Nurse and Molak, along with Oswald, Gailing, and David in there for this final minute in the third. That's Molak handling it, Woods guarding him. Drops it for Gailing to Oswald to Molak. Got half of it. The rebound goes to Thomas, comes down in a rush.
Look, and they motor.
Far side to Gaines, he goes for the bucket, partially blocked. The rebound to Gailing. Gaines picks himself up. They're letting him play.
Coach Mike Hearn unhappy with that one from Waterloo.
Yes, expressing himself vocally from the bench. Oswald handling it. Gives it to Gailing, 15 and a half feet away. Bango! 10 points for Roger Gailing. He's averaging 8.
Waterloo might go for 1.
We're down to 18 seconds. Watch the countdown on the screen. The difference is 1. This is Woods venturing into the land of the Giants. And a foul will be called on Woods.
No basket.
No basket on the offensive foul. The little fella, look at him, looking up.
That's team foul number 3 on West Waterloo. You take a look at it in there. As he goes in, he comes down, and he got the man.
He ventures where a lot of people fear to tread, and he comes up wanting that time.
Kuemper is going to be shooting for the lead.
8 seconds left. Molak gives it off and turn to Gailing. It won't fall. The rebound battled for, put it up by Gailing. No good. The quarter ends. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. West Waterloo 45, Carroll Kuemper 44. We'll be back after this word from your local station. Well, we're practically starting from scratch as we get into the final frame. West Waterloo by 1. They led by 7 after the first frame. Kuemper won the battle of the second quarter, 20-17, made up 3 of those points, leaving 4. Carroll Kuemper wins the battle of the third quarter, 16-13, making up 3 more points, leaving just 1. So now it comes down, push comes to shove.
Hey, it's an 8-minute season. Sprint, the final lap.
Look at those people shake hands, have fun. They realize this is premier interscholastic basketball competition. Everybody here enjoying a
Shake
splendid
hands,
ball game.
but when the ball goes in the air, fur flies.
And it has been. It'll be David going up against Thomas. Thomas at 6'4", David at 6'9". The tip controlled by West Waterloo. This is Chris Gaines moving in. He'll try it from 9 feet. Somebody got it by David. David did on the arm. That's his third.
He is valuable property, of course.
Shooting foul. Gaines on the line
5, 3,
as we start the fourth quarter, getting a pair.
Gaines did not have a good first half at that line. At the time, they had a lead, and it didn't seem so important. They're big now.
Trying his 11th and 12th free throws. He has made only 5 of 10 in that first half. Here is an excellent free throw shooter, all things considered. 75% from the line.
So you'd have to think he's due.
53% from the field. So here's a kid who can shoot the basketball. Having trouble with free throws tonight.
Hit the front of the rim. That usually indicates some fatigue. Leg weary.
Give him 17. 46-44 by 2. Deers is back in the lineup.
Gaines has 60 points for the tournament.
Gives it to Nurse. Nurse in the front court to Molak. Finds Deers free. Beautiful pass to Gehling. Deers with a snappy pass to Gehling. And Gehling has a dozen.
A whole new ball game.
We are tied for the second time. 46 all. We were tied last at 34. Norris trying to break and can't. Nurse gets the rebound. Kuemper's biggest lead has been 1 point. Deers tries to make it 2. They battle for the ball, and Norris comes up with it, gives it to Gaines. Gaines with a left and right hand into that front court, gives it to Hodges. Hodges from behind the basket. Can't get it from about 14 feet away, and the rebound picked up by Nurse.
We've gone under 7 minutes.
3A championship basketball, we are tied. Molak looking for David. Gives it to Deers. Back to Molak. Had a hunch, changed his mind. Into Deers. He's alone. Yeah. 6 for Deers. By 2, Carroll Kuemper, its biggest lead.
There's some great shooting.
Who's doing the pushing? It is David, and you see him plead.
Here you go. Relax, relax. Here you go.
David has been assessed his 4th personal foul.
And it was away from the ball. Waterloo wants timeout.
They get it. Timeout on the floor with the score. West Waterloo, Carroll Kuemper 48, West Waterloo 46. Now this word from your local station.
Mark, just as a point of personal privilege, you mentioned a moment ago there'll be a new champion tonight. Teams, yes, but a year ago I was in that winner's circle with a gentleman named Dave Etchen. He'll always be a champion. Dave Etchen, if you're watching tonight, the Big C caught up with Dave earlier this year, and he's shown us all the meaning of champion, hanging in there with all kinds of courage. And to Dave Etchen from the basketball fans of Iowa in that battle with cancer, Good luck, Godspeed, and a lot of prayers are going your way, buddy.
Amen. Etch, as a matter of fact, is at this tournament. He has been here watching. I don't know if he's here tonight, but he has been here. Kuemper has not shot a free throw in this basketball game. Now that's pretty remarkable with 6.5 minutes left to go. Norris on the line, misses it. The rebound taken by Deere.
Had
Norris
Waterloo
misses.
been making free throws, it wouldn't be a ball game.
Exactly. Molak gives the ball to Deers. They're going to call it on Thomas.
And that's team foul number 4. Now, the next time the whistle sounds, Kuemper will get to go to the line. You'll see Thomas trying to break through right here to steal the ball, but no way, no gate.
Molak trying to get it in, does to Gehling. We're down to 6:15 and counting. Gahling's alone 15 feet away. He drains it.
That's the biggest lead of the ball game for Kuemper.
14 points for Gehling. They lead by 4, their biggest spread. They trailed by 9 in the first quarter. The crowd from Kuemper erupts. On the near side, Woods, three-point try, no good. Gaines with the left hand, it doesn't fall. The rebound goes to David. Long pass
Wide
down
open.
court.
Traveled.
He traveled. They had it made. And you saw the collision between Deers and Molak.
Yep, their teammates, they couldn't get the ball on the hardboard. What a break for Waterloo.
You lose that concentration for a moment. Here comes Woods. Reggie Mosley is checked in. Near side to Woods. To Hodges.
5.5
Woods.
minutes.
Far side to Norris. Over the top. It is rejected by David. Deers has the basketball, gives it to Oswald. 5:15 left to go in our ball game. 50-46. Molak. David over the top of Norris, banks it home.
Big guy's an all-stater.
16 for Brian David.
6 is the biggest lead, and we're at the 5-minute mark.
Hodges, and he is hacked across the arm by Molak on the way in.
Got a bonus.
And that on Molak is personal foul number 2.
And Hodges is probably a man they just as soon as have at the line as anybody.
Yep, 62%. He has hit 2 out of 2 from the free throw line. He has a dozen so far tonight.
New faces.
And those new faces include the return to the ball game of Matt Clemmer, the 6'5" junior, as Mosley goes out.
Anthony Thomas back in there.
So let's take a look at Hodges, having his best tournament game so far.
The only senior out there.
Clutch free throw. Gets complimented by Matt Clemmer, encouraged for his bonus.
Boy, what a finish to a great tournament.
So the only senior in the starting lineup puts it in under pressure. 14 for Hodges. 52-48. It's down to 4. Kuemper out in front. Almost stolen by Thomas. Deers retrieves it.
Well, they're trying to trap.
Nurse in the backcourt. Gets it up to Oswald as they break the press. Oswald drops it for Nurse. Baseliner to Gehling. Hit the backboard. The rebound goes to Thomas. He gives it up to Gaines in a hurry. No, this is Hodges.
Nifty move, fouled again.
And it was Oswald who got him. That's
Hodges,
3 on Oswald.
I think he went in there trying to draw the foul, Mark. That was an underhanded
least,
carry-up
right?
shot. Watch this one. This is the kind you get whacked across the wrist with.
Come on in.
He is perfect from the line. 4 for 4. Been Mr. Clutch when it's come to free throws.
Had it gone in, he would have taken it, however.
Oswald leaves the ball game, and Molak comes back in.
Well, the free throws right now can get West Waterloo back into the ball game.
See what Hodges does. Made 4 straight. He's tough.
That free throw line is the difference in the ball game.
As I said earlier, Mike Hearn, the coach, had said that Hodges is the guy who's made the difference this year for the ball club. Perfect in 6 tries. Superb free throw shooting.
Boy,
by
those
Larry
last
Hodges.
4 were with all kinds of pressure on.
52-50, would you believe? David saw Gehling down there, almost let it go, but then decided against it. Gives it to Molak.
We're 4:24.
2-3 zone. Deers over on the far side to Nurse to David.
They're being a little selective now.
Over to Molak. West Waterloo will give him that 15-footer, hoping to... Oh, beautiful pass. Molak with a great pass to David. He connects for his 18th point. 9 field goals.
Boy,
54-50.
a bounce pass down low like that can hurt, but that one worked.
Really nifty. Woods had a hunch, changed his mind. They give it to Chris Gaines. Gaines up with the left hand. He was fouled on the shot. They call it against Roger Gailing, his second. Gaines will get a couple.
You take a look at it in there. They're trying to draw that foul. Gaines is in the air, that left-hander, but he was fouled by Gailing. 3 minutes and 44 seconds.
6 out of 12 free throw attempts tonight for Chris Gaines. That's 2 in a row now.
I think their last 5 points in a row have been free throws.
54-51. Kuemper's led by 6, trailed by 9 back in the first quarter. They lead now by 3, could be cut to 2. It is not.
Boy, he was up there.
Chris Gaines continues to find a little bit of challenge on that free throw line. They're just not dropping. Almost thrown away, saved by Nurse. Give it to Gailing, into Nurse. Beautiful to Deers. Nurse with the assist. Deers on a total of 8. 56-51 by 5. Carroll Kuemper.
Clock starting to get into the ballgame at 3:19.
Gaines looking at Thomas. Thomas over the top of David. He fouled him. David has fouled out of the ball.
He's out of there.
To my reckoning.
Oh, is that costly? He's out.
That's a big one.
Whoop, that's only 4 on the electrolyte board, however.
Okay, let's double check it.
We'll watch them go up.
I stand corrected.
Hey, that's a big, big one.
And Coach Wayne Chandley is happy that I stand corrected.
They have 4 on 2 of their big inside people now.
So let's take a look.
Anthony Thomas.
It's 56% free throw shooter. Boy, it has been the free throw here. You live or die by the free throw on many occasions.
They were 61% on the season.
7 points for Thomas. He's averaging 14 and a half, well below his average. Still 3:13.
They're taking Paul out of there.
Interesting. David leaves.
The franchise is on the bench.
Save him for what? The last couple of minutes?
Well, I don't know.
Now Norris, look at the strategy. They're going to get the big stick in there.
Yep. About one quick Waterloo bucket, and David Paul will be back in there.
This will give him a rest, if nothing else. Look at that pass to Molak. Second time they've done that. It'll be what?
Goaltending.
Will it be goaltending?
That's what they call it.
Thomas. It is a goaltend against Thomas.
We'll take another look
Molak
at it. You decide. The ball is going to be in the air. Is it goaltending? Well, our angle's bad.
Molak gets the bucket, his 6th. 58-52, a 6-point lead, second time by Carroll Kuemper. Chris Gaines, the baseline.
Got it.
Somebody gave him the hip before the basket, and that'll be Gailing.
Well,
Roger Gailing's 3rd personal foul, and it puts Gaines on the line again.
And Gaines must be having a real visit with himself right about now. Chris Gaines.
We got a foul. Got a foul, please. Got a foul.
He has gone to the free throw line 14 times, and he has made 7 of them.
They have beaten Waterloo several times on that full court fast break.
Now we've got a timeout being called on the floor. The score, Carroll Kuemper 58, West Waterloo 52. Now this word from your local station. In the entire second half, West Waterloo has managed to get only one field goal out of Chris Gaines. He had the big start in the opening quarter, but in the second half it has not gone that well. He's made 7 out of 14 free throws. Interestingly enough, Thomas has been held to 7 points in this ball game. Only Larry Hodges has shown the great consistency for West Waterloo.
In that timeout, they did not bring Brian David back in.
We have 3 minutes, 4 seconds left to go, and now Gaines will go to the well again.
Carroll
7 out of 14.
Kuemper has finished 4th 4 times. They're on the threshold of something big.
He misses again.
The timeout worked. It iced him.
7 out of 15 unofficially is what we have him for. Under 3, 58-52 it stays. A 6-point spread. Oswald to Molak. They're going to let the air out, Mitch.
Well, they're not letting the air out, but they got the needle in the ball anyway right now. They're thinking about it.
Out on top. That's Gaines.
Waterloo has no fouls to waste. If they foul, Carroll will be going to the free throw line, but that's kind of strange territory. They haven't been there tonight.
Tough to go inside. Remember, David is not there. He's off the bench now. They must have heard me, and the reach-in foul is called on Gaines. Chris Gaines picks up his second personal foul.
And finally, a free throw for Carroll Kuemper comes in this basketball game.
With 2:23 left to play. Here's David back in the lineup. Oswald goes out.
Nick Nurse will be the shooter.
And Nurse is a 71%er. We don't know anyone done from the free throw line since they haven't had a shot.
The quarterback, their football team, pitcher on the baseball team, holds the school record in the pole vault. He's important.
Has lots of assists. He was a starter on the ball club last year. And, of course, he is smart, the point guard, and a big free throw. 59-52. That's a new spread, 7 points. Biggest lead of the ball game by Kuemper.
Probably the furthest West has ever been behind in the state tournament with their wins over Wahlert and Burlington.
Cool as a cucumber, 8-point lead. 2:22 left to play. Quickly into the front court. Here's Woods. Baseliner, Gaines. Nice drive by Chris Gaines.
If they get down to 3-point shooting, it'll probably be Woods for Waterloo.
Right on. We have Gaines for 20. This is David handling the ball. Under 2 minutes as he is fouled by Woods. 2 minutes exactly.
And Brian David, tallest man in the AAA at 6'9", will be going to the line.
Terry Woods' second personal foul. David has 18 points on 9 field goals. He's an 83% free throw shooter, however.
He said he's dreamed about the state tournament and making the winning shot.
32 points combined in the previous 2 games in the tournament. 18 more here. With the right hand. So they may not have had many free throws. That's only the 3rd one they've had in the ball game. They've connected on all of them.
He lives in Templeton, Iowa. That's about 15 miles south of Carroll. With 2 minutes to play, he can make this tough.
Broke the school career scoring record. 20 points for David. 4 out of 4 as a team. 2 by Nurse, 2 by David. 62-54. 8-point lead for the second time. Their biggest. Gaines looking inside, nowhere to go. Gives to Terry Woods. Woods ventures in for a 14-footer and pops it. 9 points for Terry Woods.
So you got a 6-point ball game.
With 1:41 left to play.
That's only 2 possessions with a 3-point rule, remember.
This is Nurse in the backcourt being crowded. He gets it up. Almost stolen.
That was close.
Yeah, that was Hodges. They give it off to Nurse. Over on the far side to Molak. 1:25 left to play. David.
Now they're letting the air out.
To Molak. Back to David. To Nurse. 1:15. Kuemper crowd going bananas. Nurse with the basketball. To Molak. To David. And a foul is going to be called on Hodges. This first personal. They're asking for 2. Let's see if they get it.
They put in the deep freeze. Referee signals 2.
Okay.
There it is.
Made 2 in a row just a moment ago.
The key to that is make the intentional foul without letting everybody see.
Will they time out, David? They will. Timeout on the floor with the score. Carroll Kuemper 62, West Waterloo 56. Now this word from your local station. Brian David, winding up his high school career at Carroll Kuemper, has 2 big free throws coming. You see the tail of the tape on your screen with 1 minute and 3 seconds remaining.
And of course, if he would not knock him down, Mark, those inside rebound positions are jumpers from West Waterloo.
And you pointed out the three-point effort is still there. It is the last hope, actually, of West Waterloo, but it is nevertheless a realistic one.
It's a different game.
A couple of them.
With a three-point shot, you're talking 2 possessions.
Exactly.
Without the three-point shot, you'd say it's almost out of reach.
Right. David appreciates that, too.
An all-tournament team will be named after this.
He has 20. That's the best he's scored in the tournament thus far.
That's Mike Hearn. He is concerned.
It falls. 5 consecutive free throws by Carroll Kuemper. 2 by Nurse, 3 in a row by Brian David. And the free throws, so difficult for West Waterloo, have been a snap.
Now we'll see if they're into the three-point offense. He's the shooter right there.
We're under a minute. Inside, going for 2. Doesn't happen. The rebound, Gailing. Over to David. Gets it up to Nurse. 45 seconds. Far side giving it to Deers, to David, to Nurse. Molak, and he is fouled by Chris Gaines. His 3rd personal. And the deed has been done. Carroll Kuemper is 36 seconds away from its first championship ever. They were runner-up in 69, came back in 71, 76, 78, 79, and here in 85 it happens. Molak with the right hand. Give him a total of 7. 6 out of 7 free throws as a team, and they didn't get them until the closing minutes. Never shot a free throw until the closing minutes, and yet how significant those free throws were. 2 by Nurse and then 3 straight by David. Now a couple by Molak. 65-56. Put up, and the rebound taken off by Nurse. Foul in the backcourt. It'll be called on Chris Gaines. Gaines has his 4th personal foul. Here's Gailing on the line. He has 14. He has had a splendid tournament. 21 against Washington, 14 against Fort Dodge, 14 here so far this evening. His first free throw attempt. .27 seconds remaining in the ballgame. .67-56 by 11. Might win going away. Gaines on the missed shot, comes down to Molak, spins, the rebound taken off by Norris, and the foul is going to be called on Molak. That would be his third personal foul. So with 15 seconds left, we're just waiting the outcome and the final score. Norris goes to the line. The 6'7" junior will be back next year, as will Chris Gaines, Anthony Thomas, and Terry Woods. All four of those young men will play again for West Waterloo. Norris gets his first free throw. He'd missed one earlier. He's 1 out of 2. Bill Deers is the only returnee from the starting 5 for Carroll Kuemper. Gets them both. Obviously too little too late. To Gailing, to Deers, down to Molak. (69-58) by 11 for the second time. Gaines on the shot attempt. It's all over. The 3A championship goes to Carroll Kuemper. That's the end of the game with the score. Carroll Kuemper 69, West Waterloo 58. We'll be back after this word from your local station. The exultation of Johnny Oswald on that shot shows it all, as Carroll Kuemper comes on to win the fourth quarter in a big way, 25-13. After losing only the first quarter, they climb back into it and win it and take the 3A title. We'll be back with the awards presentations after this word from your local station. And now let's go to center court for the awards presentations. Here's Mo Kelly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Team trophies, medals for all of the participants will be presented by two members of the Board of Control of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. To my near left is Dr. Ken Sand, Superintendent of Schools at Southeast Polk. And next to Dr. Sand is the current chairman of the board, Larry Parr, principal of Ankeny High. As usual, a lot of excitement in Class 3A this year, and one of the teams that provided us with a lot of that excitement is the runner-up team, the Wahawks from Waterloo West, and Coach Mike Hearn. How about a nice hand for them? And the champions in 3A 1985, the Carroll Kuemper Knights, Coach Wayne Chandley. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sportsmanship Award is sponsored by the Iowa Newspaper Association, the Iowa Broadcasters Association, and the Iowa Boys High School Athletic Association. Here to present the Sportsmanship Award in Class 3A is the current president of the Iowa Newspaper Association, Dave Norris, publisher of the Marshalltown Times-Republican, and the current president of the Iowa Broadcasters Association, Larry Edwards, Vice President and General Manager of WMT Radio in Cedar Rapids. Mr. Edwards.
Thank you, Mo. The Iowa Broadcasters, in conjunction with the Iowa Athletic Association and the Iowa Daily Newspapers, take great deal of pride in presenting this award. The award broadens the scope of what's happened here tonight and should be something to be proud of and carried with for a long time. To the fans, to the cheerleaders, to the coaches, and to the players, the media have decided that this year's award for good sportsmanship goes to Carroll Kuemper.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's one more order of business to be taken care of. The naming of the all-tournament team at AAA. The media, the newspapers, the radio, and the television have selected the AAA all-tournament team. And once again, to pay honor to these fine athletes who've received this, the governor of the state of Iowa, the Honorable Terry E. Branstad. Here's the balloting AAA all-tournament for 1985, Anthony Thomas from Waterloo West. All-tournament, Roger Gayling, Carroll Kuemper. At center on the all-tournament team from Fort Dodge, Jim Crooks. All-tournament 1985, Brian David of Carroll Kuemper. And the captain of the all-tournament team, meaning he got more votes than anyone else, the captain of AAA, Chris Gaines of West Waterloo. The exultation of Johnny Oswald on that shot shows it all, as Carroll Kuemper comes on to win the fourth quarter in a big way, 25-13. After losing only the first quarter, they climb back into it and win it and take the 3A title. We'll be back with the awards presentations after this word from your local station. And now let's go to center court for the awards presentations. Here's Mo Kelly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the team trophies, medals for all of the participants will be presented by two members of the Board of Control of the Iowa High School Athletic Association. To my near left is Dr. Ken Sand, Superintendent of Schools at Southeast Polk. And next to Dr. Sand is the current chairman of the board, Larry Parr, principal of Ankeny High. As usual, a lot of excitement in Class 3A this year, and one of the teams that provided us with a lot of that excitement is the runner-up team, the Wahawks from Waterloo West, and Coach Mike Hearn. How about a nice hand for them? And the champions in 3A 1985, the Carroll Kuemper Knights, Coach Wayne Chandley. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sportsmanship Award is sponsored by the Iowa Newspaper Association, the Iowa Broadcasters Association, and the Iowa Boys High School Athletic Association. Here to present the Sportsmanship Award in Class 3A is the current president of the Iowa Newspaper Association, Dave Norris, publisher of the Marshalltown Times-Republican, and the current president of the Iowa Broadcasters Association, Larry Edwards, Vice President and General Manager of WMT Radio in Cedar Rapids. Mr. Edwards.
Thank you, Mo. The Iowa Broadcasters, in conjunction with the Iowa Athletic Association and the Iowa Daily Newspapers, take a great deal of pride in presenting this award. The award broadens the scope of what's happened here tonight and should be something to be proud of and carried with for a long time. To the fans, to the cheerleaders, to the coaches, and to the players, the media have decided that this year's award for good sportsmanship goes to Carroll Kuemper.
there's one more order of business to be taken care of. The naming of the all-tournament team at AAA. The media, the newspapers, the radio, and the television have selected the AAA all-tournament team. And once again, to pay honor to these fine athletes who've received this, the governor of the state of Iowa, the Honorable Terry E. Branstad. Here's the balloting AAA all-tournament for 1985, Anthony Thomas from Waterloo West. All-tournament, Roger Gayling, Carroll Kuemper. At center on the all-tournament team from Fort Dodge, Jim Crooks. All-tournament 1985, Brian David of Carroll Kuemper. And the captain of the all-tournament team, meaning he got more votes than anyone else, the captain of AAA, Chris Gaines of West Waterloo.
Victory. Obviously, when you got into it, you had to wonder. It was an uphill climb. You were down 7 after the first quarter, but still close enough to catch.
I tell you, we were down and we had a lot of foul trouble. I don't know. It just seemed like all they could see for a while was red. And, you know, we had a lot of people out there with 3 and 4 fouls fairly early in the game. And I think it's really a credit to those kids that they were able to go in and finish the game without fouling out.
You never went to the line. Did you realize that until the last couple of minutes of the ball game?
I realized it. I was wondering why. You know, it just seemed like it was red, red, red. I don't know. Maybe that was a bad color out there, but.
It was a question of were you going to run with them or not? What was your decision?
Oh, there was no thought on that. You know, that was, you know, right from the beginning, we knew we didn't want to run with them.
And yet, whenever the opportunity presented itself a couple of times, you busted up.
Well, we got a few, but we didn't want to get into a situation where it was more than 1 or 2 times in a row, you know, because if it would have been 4 or 5 times, then we would have had problems.
Outstanding ball game, Coach. Congratulations to you. Let's talk to a couple of other people who were instrumental in it. This, of course, is a guy who's on his way to Arizona. Well, Mr. David, a nice way to wind it up, Ryan.
Nice way to wind it up. It's a great feeling going out on a win. The thing I want to do is I just want to thank all the teammates, the fans, and everybody. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible. I think everybody on our team deserves all tournament. I think they just did a great job.
You had a great challenge inside. You were against some people who could really sky.
Yeah, they really did a super job. I got to give them a lot of credit. You know, they were bothering me in the beginning, and I just had to settle down and concentrate. And I'm just glad we won.
You played exceedingly well, especially when you were nursing those fouls.
Yeah, thank you. I just knew I had to go out and play, use my head, and hopefully we pulled it off, and we did.
Here's a guy by the name of Gayling who had an outstanding game and an outstanding tournament. As a matter of fact, all 3 games were good for you. You know that.
Yeah. They're double up on Brian's side. It gives me the wide open shot, so.
Well, and you were making those shots.
Yeah.
Some great assists.
Thanks. Again, it goes to them because they double up on him and freeze the other guys.
Well, basketball is not an individual game. These 2 guys are just representative of a splendid team effort up and down that line. Guys, congratulations on a magnificent championship.
Thank you.
Now you know what it's like down here in my office.
Finally, Mitch. Finally, we get a chance to find out what you've gone through, and gone through so very, very well.
Hey, it was a great tournament, Mark.
Oh, just, you know, every year we say that, and every year it's true. It is a great tournament.
And we're looking forward to the next one, I guess, right now, Mark. This was 14 for you and I. So we'll have a date next year.
Look forward to it. All right, that's where it is. We wrap it up here from Betts Auditorium in Des Moines. We hope you enjoyed the telecast. To our executive producer, Bill Turner, the entire television crew, our thanks. We hope you've enjoyed this telecast of the 1985 Iowa Boys State High School basketball tournament. Much thanks to Frosty Mitchell, the entire crew, Mark Zelich from Veterans Auditorium in Des Moines, saying so long, everybody.